what's up? We are reading The Boys in the Boat, 9 Americans and their epic quest for gold at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. If you're like me, you haven't finished reading a book in a long time, so I want to read along with you guys. We're going to read page 27, 28, and 29 while I charge my BMW i3. My boy is doing his own thing. All right, page 27. Let's see, let me take it from the first sentence at the bottom of page 26. Others dangled cigarettes from their lips, and as they paged through the day's Seattle Post-Intelligencer, they could take satisfaction in a half-page ad that trumpeted the latest proof of the health benefits of smoking. 21 of 23 Giants World Champions smoke Camels. It takes healthy nerves to win the World Series. The young men sitting in their own clusters on the lawn were short-heeled pumps and rayon hose, calf-length skirts, and loose-fitting blouses with ruffles and flounces on the sleeves and at the necklines. Their hair was sculpted into a wide variety of shapes and styles. Like the young men, the women talked about classes and sometimes about baseball too. Those who had had dates over the weekend talked about the new movie in the town, Gary Cooper in One Sunday Afternoon at the Paramount, and a Frank Capra film, Lady for a Day, at the Roxy. Like the boys, some of them smoked cigarettes. By mid-afternoon, the sun had broken through, unfurling a warm, translucent day of golden light. Two young men, taller than most, lopped across the grassy quad in front of the library in a hurry. One of them, a 6'3" freshman named Roger Morris, had a loose, gangly build, a tussle of dark hair with a forelock that perpetually threatened to fall over his long face, and heavy black eyebrows that lent him, at first glance, a bit of a glowering look. The other young man, Joe Rance, also a freshman, was nearly okay. Now let's go to page 28. Go to page 28. As tall at 6'2.5", but more tautly built, with broad shoulders and solid, powerful legs. He wore his blonde hair in a crew cut. He had a strong jawline, fine regular features, gray eyes verging into blue, and he drew covert glances from many of the young women sitting on the grass. The two young men were taking the same engineering class and had a common and audacious objective that radiant afternoon. They rounded a corner of the library, skirted the concrete circle of Frost Pond, descended a long, grassy slope, and then crossed Mount Lake Boulevard, dodging a steady stream of black coupes, sedans, and roadsters. The pair made their way eastward between the basketball pavilion and the horseshoe-shaped excavation that served as the campus football stadium. Then they turned south again, following a dirt road through open woods and into a marshy area fringing Lake Washington. Oh man, hold on. My son's internet stopped. Okay. Take it from... The pair made their way eastward between the basketball pavilion and the horseshoe-shaped excavation that served as the campus football stadium. Then they turned south again, following a dirt road through open woods and into a marshy area fringing Lake Washington. As they walked, they began to overtake other boys heading in the same direction. They finally came to a point of land located just where the canal known as the Montlake Cut, simply the Cut in local parlance, entered Union Bay. On the west side of Lake Washington, perched on the point, was an odd-looking building, its sides clad in weather-beaten shingles and inset with a series of large windows slanted obliquely inward, rising toward a gambrel roof. Page 29. When the boys moved around to the front of the building, they found an enormous pair of sliding doors, the upper halves of which consisted almost entirely of window panes. A wide wooden ramp ran from the sliding doors down to a long dock floating parallel to the shore of the cut. It was an old airplane hangar built by the U.S. Navy in 1918 to house seaplanes for the Naval Aviation Training Corps during the Great War. The war had ended before the building could actually be used, so it had been turned over to the University of Washington in the fall of 1919. Ever since, it had served as the shell house for the school's rowing team. Now both the wide wooden ramp heading down to the water and a narrow ledge of land to the east of the building were crowded with boys milling about nervously. 175 of them, mostly tall and lean, though a dozen or so of them with notably short and slight. A handful of older boys were there too, leaning against the building in a white jerseys emblazoned with large purple WS, their arms crossed, sizing up the newcomers. Joe Rant and Roger Morris stepped into the building. Along each side of the cavernous room, long sleek racing shells were stacked 4 high on wooden racks, with their burnished wooden hulls turned upward. They gleamed in white shafts of light that fell from the windows overhead, giving the place the... Alright, that's page 29. If you haven't done so already, subscribe.